Hello and welcome to Authentically Seen. In this series, our experts will share their wisdom on how you can rediscover your beauty, reclaim your confidence, and be powerfully present. Today, we're joined by Bodhi Simpson. Welcome, Bodhi.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I'm super excited about our conversation today. And for those of you who don't know Bodhi, she is an art therapist in Maine who enjoys reconnecting people with the magic and mysteries of life and in learning to see through the eyes of their hearts so that they may have an embodied encounter with life. Additionally, Bodhi is an artist and also an author and a teacher, and her book is absolutely beautiful. It's called The Girl Who Cried for the Earth, and I have it right here. It's lovely and it's a wonderful story, lots of illustrations, and there's a an exercise that you can do in the back. So it's stunning. So thank you, Bodhi, for
Well, thanks, Sarah.
reading this for us all. So Bodhi, can you tell us what has made you so passionate about the work that you do today?
Yes, let's see. I feel so lucky because I feel like the work that I do today is just who I am. And
Mhm.
I feel like I wish that for everybody out there, that there's some aspect of the work that you do that is who you are authentically.
Mhm.
For me, as I grew up and became an art therapist, I realized that I was able to become the person that I needed as a little girl to
Mhm.
help me. I would almost kind of dialogue with myself as I was
Yeah.
learning about the field of art therapy and my little self, and how she would have responded to working with somebody like an art therapist. And then as an adult art therapist, it's been really amazing because part of the benefit of going to school to be a therapist is that you learn all these amazing tools to help others. But first, you have to embody and learn how to use them for yourself. And so it's just been so amazing to be able to play and connect to creativity in my own way to develop tools to help myself that I can now teach other people. And so, um, yeah, so I guess that's kind of how I became passionate about the work. It just was part of my journey. And that book that you
Yeah.
showed was really
Yes.
like my art therapy of painting over a year and grieving and realizing that I was telling a story. And so, yeah, so much of my life has just been kind of following what's come through me.
Following your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. And I love that, if you can find work that you do, you never work a day in your life. And but also too, it's you're growing and evolving, and then you grow and evolve and share that with others. And that's the beauty of, I think,
Yes.
this kind of work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like finding who we are, finding our gifts, and then finding a way to do that in the world in some
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Share that with the world. Beautiful. So, question, what does it mean to awaken the heart?
Yeah, so for me, what it means is, well, what I've learned through my own journey and through my work
Mhm.
as an art therapist is that so many of us are stuck in our heads. We are worried about judgment. We're worried about what other people think of us. We're afraid to be seen. We're afraid to be heard.
Mhm.
We don't often even have a connection with our full expression. And so to me, awakening the heart is learning how to develop a relationship um, with your own heart. So when we're living life from our heart, we're in our bodies and we are in that intuitive place versus like overanalyzing and thinking. We are feeling into
Mhm.
possibilities. We are, we talked about, or you said in the bio, I like to help people see through the eyes of their heart. And that's that
Yeah.
metaphor of when we look through the lens of our heart, we're looking through compassion, we're looking through love. And so we can almost like soften our eyes and see the beauty and the sacredness in everything. And that includes ourselves. And so, in that story, actually, it was about a little girl who um,
Mhm.
was overwhelmed by just so much in life and really went internal and went within, and her own heart was closed in self-protection. And so I feel like so many of us do that. We don't even realize it. So awakening the heart is um, finding different ways to get curious about how open are you to life? Are you able to receive your own love and compassion? Or do you even believe you're worthy of receiving your own love and compassion? And so once we can really build this, it's like a muscle. When we can just kind of switch gears and live life from this place, it's completely transformative. And we know that it is important to find our expression and to live that because that's who we are and that's beautiful. So that's kind of what came to me as I was feeling into awakening the heart.
So, okay, there's so many things here that I've written down. So it's okay. So let's see. One of the things you just talked about finding your passion or finding that creative expression. And the thing I think it's so cool because there's no one creative expression, so we're all different.
Yes.
And you're talking about I think so many of us compare ourselves to other people and what we should be and look like and do and so to be able to know that your creative expression is unique to yourself
Yes.
and by sharing that and bringing that like we just make the world a better, more beautiful, abundant place.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And our life is, our life is our creative expression. So it could be like one thing you make or you write or for you developing this beautiful summit as an offering, but
Mm.
it can be the way we dress, the way we do anything in life,
Yeah.
our expression.
Yeah. It's wonderful. So the other thing that stuck out really was we talked about like through the lens of the heart, it's really having compassion, love, and like sacred knowing of everything who you are. So it's everything like the good and the bad. Because a lot of times I think too, maybe that's why we get stuck and like you close your heart because you're like, oh, I'm bad or I don't like this about me. So you don't want to share. But
Yeah.
it's accepting that. And I don't know if you find in working with people if that is a big, kind of challenge to them. And
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like that's why creative expression, sorry, I use my hands a lot when I
that's
talk,
okay.
but
Yeah,
creative expression is so wonderful because you can be with all of it. And so it's
Mhm,
like we can see the bigger picture. But the truth is that life is all of it. And so,
mhm.
well, a lot of us have had a really hard time the past couple of years since
Yeah,
COVID, all kinds of things have changed.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's like, how can we be with our own suffering, be with our own challenges, and also still see the beauty in all of it and see where the
Mhm,
growth is and
mhm,
because then nothing's ever wasted. So I feel like it's just such a fine line of not getting trapped in the heavy,
mhm,
but being able to like express that and be with that, but also through your heart see the beauty in that, see
mhm.
the beauty in what's hard.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You in order to grow, you have to kind of chip away at things, and it's that's expansion. It's like a snake shedding its skin. It's gonna to grow. It needs to release that, and so we have to, I think, do that ourselves in
yes,
with our emotions or what we our thoughts as well as
exactly,
our physical bodies.
exactly.
And so one really other interesting thing you talked about was worthiness. And I think that's really like, I keep hearing that so much like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. So one, I'm bad, or these things about me I don't like, but then also like you don't feel worthy of other people. And so like that's, I mean, how can creative expression help people, through maybe something like a block like that, like not feeling worthy or not feeling they're good enough.
Yeah, so creative express like taking time to this is one of the most important things that I want to say today is
Okay.
finding little ways to have some safe space where your like nervous system and your adrenal glands can just settle for a moment and
Mhm,
you can get out of judgment, get out of fear, get out of that overwhelm and express in some way the truth of how you're actually feeling. And I feel like there's so much shame, at least just as in through the lens of as a therapist, people
Mhm.
often will feel shame, like I'm so good at, I do everything for everybody else, but like, oh my gosh, that would be so selfish if I actually did that for myself. No way. I don't have money for that. I don't have time for that. Um, and so how can we create that space, like I said, just to be honest about how we're feeling? And it could be very personal that you don't share with somebody. It could be something you share with somebody, but for the most part, it's really just about allowing yourself space to be with the process, where you can get curious about what you actually believe to be true.
Yeah.
Because for myself, when I actually realized I've done a lot of work my whole life, like many of us, like all of us,
Yeah.
especially therapists, but
Yeah.
we're in this field because we also want to take our journey and help others. But when I actually recognized for myself years ago that I was being really hard on myself and I wasn't loving myself in a way that I deserved. It was
Mhm.
really shocking and it was really painful. And I had to get, and that's part of the story too. I had to get really curious. I had to kind of go back to the beginning of like, when did that start? When did I lose my love for myself and my love for life? And so through our creative expression, we can witness our process, we can be vulnerable, and then we can play with like, and what feels like me and
Yeah.
what materials are fun to me and feel like my
Yeah.
expression. And we can start to develop a relationship to what's coming through and build a strength in the presence that we consciously want to bring to our lives. So it's all of it. It's like a acknowledgement, but also a shifting consciously and a practice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, so I'd be really excited. Is there a creative practice that you can share with us today, like that we can try right now?
Yes, I would love to. So if you could get out like some paper and for those of you at home that are watching, feel free to join in with us because it's recorded. You can pause the video at any time. So you
Mhm.
might want to go grab some paper and some drawing or painting materials. It's really up to you. Could even be collaging materials if you have plenty of time. Um, but when I work in my office, for instance, I often do work with pastels or something that you can't do too many details with because for people who are just starting out using creative expression as a meditation, again, we can get caught in our heads and be like, oh, wait, this isn't perfect. This is not what I was trying to express. I feel like that's what I hear mostly from people. It's like, oh, now I don't feel worthy because
Right.
I have a picture in my head, but I can't get it out. And so I'm
Mhm.
not good enough. And so just remembering that anything that comes up, even in this simple exercise, anything that comes up for you, it's beautiful because it's coming to the surface so you can be aware of what you're actually thinking about and what you're
Yeah.
believing. And so
Yeah.
sometimes people like to do these practices and also, and I've done this for myself many times, also have some paper to journal with because as you're creating, so once we're in this creative process, we're in
Mhm.
a receptive state. And so we're not in our just in our thinking mind. And so we're in
Mhm.
this like flow place and then inspiration will drop in. And so you can start to jot down, oh my gosh, wow, I remember this, or this is why that I believe this. It's just even the truth, and you can get curious, like, where does
Yeah.
this come from? And then create and then allow. Anyway, so for those of you who do need more of a written process as well, you can also include that. But I am to the point now where I don't necessarily include that because I don't always have time. So you might only have 3 minutes, you might only have five
Mhm.
minutes a day. And so how can you do this? So for today, what do you have for materials, Sarah?
I have a lot of paper, and I have a lot of markers,
Okay, perfect.
all the colors of Sharpies.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Almost all of them.
And can I ask you, are you somebody that like regularly engages in creative expression with visual arts or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily, but I have been doing more. Just some of the work I've been doing. Um, I've like, you know what? I'm gonna try drawing this, and then it might not look good, but then I try again. I'm like, oh, like so yeah, I've been doing some different things, like from a visual art perspective, and it's been exciting. And it's that it's not, sometimes it looks like a stick figure. That's okay.
Yes.
And sometimes it looks better. So, and
Thank you for sharing that because
yes,
it's important for people to hear,
yes.
you know. Nobody's
And
grading this. You're not passing it in anywhere. It's for your own process. Think of it that way.
exactly. And
Um,
I grabbed a pencil because also pencils, if you use those, they can be erased.
oh,
So that's
true.
another,
True.
it makes it
Um,
feel a little more safe.
so yeah, so have whatever materials, as Sarah is modeling for us so beautifully, have whatever materials feel appropriate, feel safe. But no, if you do this process today with whatever you have and you're like, ugh, this feels really yucky. It's really important. Part of the journey would be like get your own basket of pastels, markers, pencils, watercolors. Get some materials and have this be like a sacred little spot in your house that when you pull it out, you can kind of play with the different materials and then you'll be able to feel into like, okay, I'm doing this today. I really need this material. But you often don't know until you've had a little bit of experience with the range of materials. And
Mhm.
if you don't have any time or materials and you have the opportunity to get outside, which is even better because being in nature is so grounding and healing, you could sit
Mhm.
down in the grass. I do this a lot and just use whatever's on the lawn, the little clippings or the little stones or the little, something that can be brushed
Mhm.
away, but a place to just be with your process. So, anyway, so just wanted to preface that there's really no right or wrong with any of this. So, to start, Sarah, let's just take a moment and because we've been chatting and in our heads a little bit, we'll just take a moment to come into our bodies. So I would just invite you, if you want to gaze down or close your eyes for a moment, I invite you to take a deep breath in till it almost hurts to breathe any deeper and hold it. And as you exhale, just inviting your breath to move down through your body, down through your seat, down through your legs, down into the earth. And just take a few breaths, and with each exhale, just inviting your body to feel the weight of it. Feel the weight of your presence in your physical body, in your seat. And now I'd like you to bring your awareness to your heart center at the center of your chest. Some people like to actually put their hands over their heart, or you could just bring your awareness to that area of your body in your mind. And you can just check in with like, how open or closed does my heart feel? And you might get a percentage. So you might be like, oh, wow, I haven't really checked in with this area lately. It feels like 3% open. I guess there's been a lot going on. Or you might know what that feels like to be about 50% open. Or you might know what it feels like to be 100% open. So you can kind of play with this in your little meditation before you start. So now I'd like you to imagine in your mind's eye, and for some people, they are able to see color in their mind's eye. Some of us aren't able to visually see, but just know that even if you aren't able to visually see in your mind's eye is still open and it will, when you go to your color palette with your markers or your materials, it will come to you as well. So I'd like you just to imagine for yourself, what would the color of love, self-compassion, worthiness, what would these colors look like? And if nothing is coming, remember it's all fine. We're inviting different parts of your being to awaken at this time. And what I'd like you to do now is if you did get a sense of a color, or if you know of a color that reminds you of love, compassion, worthiness, any of these things, what I'd like you to do is, if you'd like, you could invite, as you breathe in, take a deep breath in through your heart center. So for me, it's light pink. I'm going to imagine breathing in the color of light pink and inviting this color into my body. And you can take a moment and attune to the vibration of that color. It might feel comfortable for you to do this. It might not. Either way, we can invite and see what happens. And as you take another deep breath in, we can invite this color and this vibration of love and self-compassion and worthiness up into our mind, up into our head, just Just gently softening some of those harsh beliefs and thoughts that are in there. And as we breathe down, inviting this color and vibration down into our arms and from our heart down into our chest and gut and seat muscles, down into our legs, down into the earth. And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to, you can put your hand on your heart again. You can give yourself a gentle hug as you would someone you love so dearly. You could caress your own cheeks as you would again someone you love so dearly. And allow yourself to receive your own gentleness and love in this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So basically, we just checked in with our body. We did that very quickly, but you can do this on your own, just basically checking in. And then what I'm going to invite you to do, Sarah, is choose any color, and you're going to draw a large, expansive heart shape on the paper.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And you may have seen a color in your mind's eye or colors. And if you haven't, I'd like you to look at your color palette. And we're not thinking with our mind like, oh, Bodhi said pink, I need pink. I want you to feel in your body what colors feel like you could use more of right now. What colors feel nurturing and loving and gentle? And as you choose the colors, I'd like to invite you to fill in your heart, and you're going to practice feeling the feeling of the color. Practice as you fill in the heart with your own love and compassion and gentleness. Um, Continually practice breathing that in, and you're going to see as we go through this process if you can have the experience of an open heart through your creative process. So we'll take about 2 minutes, Sarah. We won't have time for too much detail today.
Okay. This is
And if anybody's getting caught in their head, just remember, have fun and or invite yourself to have some fun and follow your own sense of beauty because there's no right or wrong with any of this.
kind of interesting as I'm doing this. I'm just this color's kind of my thing, but there's certain colors that I really like. I love and I associate with, and now I'm just kind of picking. And as I'm picking the colors, it's reminding me of people in my life.
Yeah, so it's
So,
important to to be with anything that's coming. It's very important.
um, my heart is full of colors. I love it. Okay, here we go.
All right. Are you all done? Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Right. And so, Sarah, I have some questions for you if you're open to that.
Oh, yeah.
Um, was it, as we did our brief check-in, was it easy or hard for you to connect to the feelings in your body?
Um, it was relatively easy. And I think it was I should say yes, it was easy because I could notice like certain maybe I wasn't connecting as well to certain aspects where I have in the past. So there's an awareness there. Yeah.
And as you were choosing your colors, and you used Sharpie, which may have worked well, or maybe you realized maybe you want to try another material next time, but
Yeah.
um, were you able to feel the feelings of the colors in your body or not? Were you kind of in your head with it?
It was as I was selecting the colors, like for example, one, I thought of my grandmother and she always looks so beautiful in this like coral color. So I have a marker and I picked that and I was thinking of her and I was thinking of love. And my mom loves the color turquoise. So, and so I was starting to think about people. And one of the things when you talked about self-compassion and worthiness, in my mind, like I went to yellow for some reason, like a golden yellow. So I picked that. So it was like it was making a connection. And so I was just all of a sudden I was imagining, I'm looking at this beautiful, like this box of colors. I have all these colors and I was looking at them thinking, oh, so it was connecting with people. So, but then I felt it in my heart. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. And we did this super quick. So this is like a quick, let's try it. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I would recommend taking time. So for all of you out there and for you, Sarah,
Hmm.
and for me as well, taking time every day to connect to our internal world, to how we're feeling, and
Hmm.
then we can shift into checking in with our own hearts and are we open to the day? Are we open to our life? Um, the goal is to keep practicing until we are living with our hearts wide open for the rest of our lives. And I feel like sometimes people are like, oh, but that's scary because then I'm really vulnerable. And so it doesn't mean there aren't ways that we need to have boundaries and be really clear about our needs and things like that. But it means we don't want to close ourselves off to love and compassion because that's if there's anything that's needed in the world right now for ourselves and for each other, it's that. And so with our practice, with any of our creative materials, we can use that as a meditation just to check in.
I love this idea because we talk about meditation and most people think about just sitting and thinking and that's not accessible for some people. So this is another way of using this and maybe
Yes.
part of your morning routine, part of an evening routine, or it's like thinking of it from that perspective. I love because I'm not one to sit still very easily. So, but to that point, like, oh, I started thinking because I had let go and I got into the space with the kind of the putting myself in the space before as we were talking, you talked me through that, and then I just was able to pick up and just make those connections.
Yeah, and it's a seed of more. There's
Yeah,
more you can meditate on. And what I
yeah,
love about using art to meditate is the same reason for you, Sarah. I really struggle with just sitting still sometimes. And so I'm able to be with how I'm feeling, move it through and kind of like transform it. And I like that I can have something tangible that
hmm,
that then I can put this up in my meditation space and it reminds me, I don't forget. Because
hmm,
with just going within I forget all the time, like, oh yeah.
yeah,
So it reminds me, it's like a visual anchor. And often
yeah,
even like over the years, I've like been like, okay, I'm gonna wear more pink or I'm gonna wear more yellow because those are the colors
yeah,
that I want to be vibrating like
yeah,
energetically. And so I'll start wearing them. I'll paint my room yellow. I'll make a bracelet that's yellow. Or
yeah,
how can you then take it and make it something concrete to help you remember?
yeah.
I love as well.
This has been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this experience with us today, Bodhi. And
My
please,
pleasure.
I hope the audience, we can pause this and come back and watch it again and practice this and incorporate it into your, you know, whether it's a daily practice or a weekly or it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So thank
In your
you.
way. So this is like
Exactly.
how I've learned, but like there's no right or wrong. So if
Yeah.
it's a different way for anybody, trust that
Yeah.
because your heart is guiding you. It's saying, actually, this is my expression, and that's
Yeah.
beautiful. So
Yeah. Oh, thank you. And one last question for you. What is your free gift today and why should somebody grab it?
yeah, so I have a creative practice for you, another creative meditative practice that's called Doodles of Intent. And I thought this would be a nice offering because it's kind of a next step to what we just briefly practiced. Um,
Mhm.
but you can allow yourself this space to get really clear. So now that we have our nice wide open hearts, or again, you're
Yeah.
practicing, kind of building that muscle over time, we can get really clear as far as what seeds do we want to be planting? It's connecting our heart and mind now. So before, like I mentioned before, when our hearts aren't fully awakened, we're just going through our thinking mind and the shoulds and the beliefs that aren't serving us. Then we open up our hearts and we go, oh, okay, now I am embodied. I can see the truth of
Mhm.
things. I can see the beauty in all things. And now, with this next creative practice, we can use our conscious thinking mind um, very clearly to plant the seed of, again, so it's the connection of heart and mind so that we are moving forward balanced. Um, with the intent is like that clear focused energy. What do I want to bring forward? And then this is practicing feeling it, and together it transforms you into yourself authentically, your
Yeah,
authentic
yeah.
experience.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our talk today and I really enjoyed this practice. I'm going to put this up on my
Yay!
wall here as a reminder. It's really, I love how it turned out.
Great.
So
Thank you,
thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you, Bodhi. This has been absolutely amazing. And please, to the audience, please grab your free gift. And I thank everyone for joining us today and look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's interview. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.